Hello, welcome to Business on Joy News Desk. Now, some foreign investors say they would not react negatively if government does not extend the IMF program after the April completion date. There appears to be some confusion on the actual date for completion of the IMF program. This is because while the president has maintained that the program would end in April 2018, Joy Business understands there is some engagement with the IMF to extend the program to December next year. But chief strategist at Barclays Africa, Rido Marcus, tells Joy Business the move by the investors has been influenced by the fact that government has showed it is committed to fiscal discipline without the IMF.
What's important is that government does show some progress in terms of the fiscal deficit, get close to the targets, and also ensure that that they can keep supporting the economy in a way that allows the economy to continue to grow, and that should take care of the deficit. The debt ratio. As far as investors are concerned out there, again, it depends on the appetite that they may have at the time, the global conditions, and sort of what economic data will tell them then. So, again, I'm cautiously optimistic that even with the IMF program probably coming to an end next year, by the end of next year, that enough progress would have been made by then, so that investors are not too worried about sort of the post-IMF period. Again, as I've said before, the government has so far, expressed the commitment quite openly. So I would be surprised if they go back on their word. So I'm fairly upbeat.
Now, implementing the paperless system at the ports would not result in any job losses. That's the assurance from managers of electronic services at the ports, GCNet. The pilot implementation of the new system, expected to have kick-started yesterday at the Timber Port, has been rescheduled to the middle of the month. Some of the companies operating at the port say the automated regime would only deprive the personnel of their manual jobs. But the product development manager at GCNet, Carl Saki, explains this will not be the case.
It's basically trying to get people to change the way they work. Now, so what the long room basically was is a place for where a lot of importers would go and they present their documents, and then the officers would look at it and then they send for examination. Now, in practice, really you can do without the long room. Let me put it this way. Because what are they using? They're using the system. So if there's no paper for anybody to present to you, what is the person coming to do there? So the officers can work anywhere at all. In the head office now, customs head office, there are people in the head office who review the transactions, and they don't see the importer. So same thing about the long room. Now, the long room is a creation from the past. That's the way we used to work, when it used to be a lot of paper stuff. So you go from one desk, hollow ceiling, to detaching and all that. And that has still come to stay. And so this is actually a revolutionary way of trying to do things here. In other jurisdictions, they don't have long room. And so Ghana trying to do the same thing. We think that they're just following best practice.
You're not considering the unemployment is going to create?
No, it's not creating unemployment. Basically, what all that is doing is that the officers are no longer going to interface with importers, but they're still going to do their work. I tell you, the number of declarations that go through the system and the amount of work the officers do, it's a lot. And so if they don't have people working in and out of the office, they have a quieter place to be able to review transactions. And then, then somebody has to review what they're doing, and then the process continues. But we think it's okay. It can be done. So the Vice President's call, we think is fine.
Thank you very much.
And that's it for business.